I'm Jessica. I'm from California, and I am deep in the human design and gene keys journey. So it's important for me to share my type for those of you who are also studying that. I'm a 6/2 splenic projector, and so my life has been really deeply intertwined with systems and systems of understanding. So for projectors, depending on where we gravitate to, it could be like a system engineer or like computer science. For me, it's the science of bridging spirituality, really. It's like bridging science with spirituality, which is also my life path, number 7. So my life purpose is going to very much always involve trying to come up with explanations and definitions and meanings for things. So I started my ayahuasca journey in 2011 and 2012, not knowing anything about my human design, having I have a very open profile, so all of my centers are undefined except for 2, so I'm essentially almost a reflector. So these are all, when you're undefined, it's they're wisdom potentials, but you don't have things you can rely on to like actually know yourself. So I've gone a lot of my life not knowing myself, and now it's becoming clear that that's been part of my journey, of not having these certain characteristics to rely on, because I'm changing so much. I'm always fluctuating. So when I first did ayahuasca, my experiences were very different than this time around, because I was just very open and was just like, show me what you got. Like, I was young. I didn't have a lot of problems that I knew of. And so it was just more of like a fun experience diving into that portal of the spirituality journey. And then over the course of the last 10 years, I have done so many forms of meditation. I've done Vipassana. I've done Mom meditation. It's a Korean form. Not a lot of people know about it. And like lots of yoga and studying. And then when I found human design and the gene keys, I really felt like I found my purpose and my passion is to learn those 2 systems. So I've been in the process of deconditioning from my not true self for the last 3 years. And ayahuasca has always been kind of on my mind, but I didn't feel like a bodily sensation. And so with human design, you really want to rely on your body and not your mind, because your body is the place of intelligence and truth, and your mind is there for concepts and for helping other people. And so as much as I wanted to do ayahuasca, I didn't feel the call in my body. And then one day I was sitting on the couch and it was like lightning struck me, and it was like, I have to go do ayahuasca now. And just considering the circumstances of the world and with travel and all that, I just felt this pressure in my root center that felt very authentic, like I needed to get down here and do it. And I will say that it has been the most profound experience of my entire life. So I'm going to preface this a little bit from my human design and gene keys perspective. So I had 2 unique different experiences. 3 of the ceremonies were very like each other, and one of the ceremonies was completely different in the most amazing way. So 3 of the ceremonies, I would say I was doing a lot of shadow work, and so I was deep in my gene keys working on my shadows of addiction. And it is the 24th gene key, which is located in the Ajna center, which is considered like your mind. And I've never had addiction to any substances or anything, but it became clear to me through my ayahuasca sessions that I have an addiction to trying to place meaning on everything, and obsessing about what does it mean, instead of just being able to hold it lightly and just live and be, and not have to feel like I need to get to an end point. I always feel like I need to reach the destination with these, like figure it all out, like I need to have it all figured out now. So the shadow of addiction was a really big one that I worked through. Also the addiction of fantasy. I found myself in my head like planning all these things I wanted to do, and I'd have to keep myself coming back like, this is, this is one of your shadows is fantasy, is always thinking that it's, all these concepts are like out there and I need to do them all. So it was like I was bridging together all these shadows. And in the Gene Keys, every shadow is a portal, and it's a way for life, the universe, God, to show you a way in to discover your gift. So we tend to have these patterns in our life, or these people that come in our life that are very much the same, and we relive it, and it can drive us crazy, and it's the universe gently telling you there's something here for you to look into. So the journey itself is just personal to my life, and I'm not sure that it would help everyone, but I feel like through the shadow work, I then was blessed with the most enlightening experience. It was nothing like I'd ever experienced before in my life. It was like I literally felt like I was having the Great Awakening. Like I was seeing Jesus and Mary Magdalene, like not their complete form, but I was seeing their light. Like I was seeing this bright golden light and then this very soft pink light, and they're both soft but bright at the same time. It was like the whole room was lit up, and I was like communing with the holy ones, and I didn't grow up religious. I don't have a lot of background of like the Bible or Jesus, and it was so profound because I knew it wasn't a mind game. It was very visceral in my body, and I cried for like 4 hours straight, and it was just like tears of devotion. It was like every one of my highest spiritual essences in my Gene Keys, like silence, grace, emanation, truth, honor. Those are all my Gene Keys. Beauty. Were all alive in that moment, and it was like the definitions. I always like read what the definitions were. They like disintegrated, and it became words with meaning. Like it was so meaningful to me, and it was, I really wish I could have just like had my phone to record it, because it was such an extreme experience. And the woman shaman, I felt like it was a very, very personal ceremony for me. Like I felt so connected to her, and I felt like we were having this like a moment together. Like she stayed with me for so long, and I really felt cared for. I'm not someone who asks for a lot of attention, and so to know that I was coming from a place of pureness and needing that support, it was so nice to like know I had it. And I kept thinking like, is she gonna leave? And she wasn't leaving, and it was like so relaxing. It was like she didn't leave until she knew that I was ready for her to leave, and so it was so beautiful. And I tend to be very much like in my own world, self-soother and solve my own problems. And I was really needing connection. It was funny because they told us the theme of that night's ceremony was connection. And I didn't know this until after. And I'm like, it really connected all the dots. I had connection to spirit. I felt that separation that I've always felt in my life, the sacred wound of being separated from source and having to remember your home and where you came from. I found that it disseminated, like it was no longer there. There was no separation. And I knocked on the floor after a long time of going back and forth. Should I knock or not? And I was like, no, I need someone. And Amin came up, and at that time, I didn't have anyone particular in mind. I was just like, I need a hug from someone. Like I'm losing it, in a really good way. But I was like, I need that connection. And Amin came up, and I just grabbed him, and we embraced and hugged for like a whole minute. And I literally felt my entire body just like go into this extreme relaxation. It was so humbling to know the feeling of being forgiven by Jesus, and knowing that like that state is in me. Like that is my highest essence. And it's something that I know that I can definitely reach again and get back to with much devotion, and prayer, and being present, and I am the medicine. I medicine through my words, I medicine through my eyes, I medicine through my hands, and I really realized my body is a sacred vessel, and what that means, to be used for good, to be used for creation. I'm the one responsible for healing myself. Like, everybody else helps you along on your healing journey by giving you the support, but it really comes from your self-compassion to be able to heal yourself. There's no magic cure person that's going to come along, or man or mom that can heal you. It's up to you. We're sovereign. And so that was a really big takeaway of just feeling like the word sovereignty. I speak about it all the time. I'm sovereign. And in that moment, I was like, I literally never knew what the meaning of sovereignty was until that night of feeling connected to God and to Jesus and feeling the Christ consciousness in my body. They're no longer just words and fun new age concepts to throw around. Like, they're very, very real. But that was my third ceremony, was the most profound. And then I found myself getting back into, like my ego and just going back into the normal, like I was on cloud 9, but then I was also having a bit of fear and anxiety because I really wanted to have that experience again. Like, I wanted to be with Jesus. I wanted to be with Mary. Like, I wanted to be home. And so going into ceremony, I was a little bit like nervous because I really wanted to create that experience again. And I was like, there's no way I can't not get back there because it was so profound. Like, there's the channel to get there now. I'm going to take it. And like they say, ayahuasca, she gives you something different every time, and she gives you what you actually need. And so it was a lesson in humility and being humble and realizing that this journey is not linear. This journey is very cyclical in nature, and the hero's journey doesn't just go for this is my what I experienced or what I believe. I'm not sure if this is the actual hero's journey, but there's the 12 parts of the plot, and at any time you can revisit other parts of the story. It's not just always going to go like this. I think at the end you'll see how it all works out, but I believe there's a bunch of different journeys and containers inside me holding these various different stories. And I think it's just the whole point of being human, is being here and remembering and going through these trials and tribulations, and having compassion for yourself. That was a big one last night. Is Jesus was very much still there, but he wasn't a fixture for me to like obsess on or hold on to. It was very much like he was telling me, like, you have to learn this. Like, this is your journey. Like, I'm always here. Like, know that you're sovereign, but I have to go through this journey on my own and take as long as it needs to take. And being a 6'2", I lived the first 30 years of my life as a 3, as a martyr. It's trial and error. It's bonds made and broken. And then after the 30th year, I go onto the roof. I'm 34 now. You go onto the roof and you retreat like a hermit, and you're kind of taken out of the grind, and you're able to see it from a higher place. And then at age 50, you come off to the roof with your medicine, and that's when you really become, 6'2s really become in their full power at 50 years old. That's when they're able to assimilate their life and really be recognized for their gifts. And so that's just so wonderful to know that I only have like 20 more years. And then the journey doesn't stop there. So it's just so beautiful. And this facility is incredible. Like, the one I was at before was great. I like raved about it. I sent a lot of my friends to it. It was amazing. But it was like 10, 11 years ago. So it was, ayahuasca wasn't as, the medicine wasn't as big. And so coming here, it's just, the grounds are absolutely beautiful. The jungle is, I've never seen anything like this before. It's so beautiful. The facilitators are so kind and so generous. I never felt like I didn't have them when I needed them. And each one of them has their own medicine and has their beauty. And it's just been so nice. The food is incredible. Like, it is insane. Like, if it wasn't for that good food, it probably would have been a lot more, a little bit harder on me. So, I wish for everybody that feels called to not be scared and to know that if you have a bad ceremony, keep going. It's always going to be different. And every single person in our retreat, I think it was 12 people, had a breakthrough. They had some nights it was indifference, and other nights it was really hard. And eventually everybody, going around in integration in a circle today, everybody said they got exactly what they came for. And you could see the difference in everyone's faces. Like, we're tired, but the openness to, it's like the openness in the eyes. It's like, even if you're tired, you see the openness to be receptive and to receive, and to receive and to give, so everybody is just wonderful. Such a magical place. Thank you so much.